Hello my dear Libra soul. Have you ever wondered what might happen when the clock strikes 12 o'clock a.m. right at the edge of night and miracle? Because this isn't just another midnight. This is a divine hour. And something extraordinary is about to return to you. In today's message on Zodiac Whisper Tarot, we are stepping through a very specific energetic doorway, a sacred portal that opens exactly at 12 a.m. on November 19th. And through that portal flows something rare, a double miracle. One tied to the physical world, a large financial return you may have given up on. And the other? A deep spiritual healing that you didn't even know you still needed. So if you're here, right now, watching this video, I want you to take a breath and listen very carefully. This moment wasn't random. It's the result of divine timing intersecting with your readiness. You didn't stumble upon this message. You were led here, by something wiser, something higher, something that's been gently orchestrating a return in your favor. This is more than astrology. More than prediction. This is alignment. Libra, you've been quietly doing the work. Showing up with grace, even when it felt like no one noticed. Holding space for your dreams, even when doubt knocked harder than faith. But here's the thing, your energy has not gone unanswered. Every quiet moment of integrity, every prayer whispered under your breath when you thought no one was listening, the universe was. That's why this video isn't just information, it's confirmation. That what was delayed is now on its way. That what was blocked is now being released. And yes, that what was taken will return not as it was, but elevated, multiplied, and healing. Right now, I want you to pause for a moment and feel into this question. What have you done, deep within yourself, to call this moment to you? Because Libra, I truly believe your soul reached out first. You are not here by coincidence. You are the reason this message exists. And the signs? They've already been surrounding you. The number 7. The dreams you couldn't explain. That moment your heart skipped a beat when someone's name passed through your mind out of nowhere. These are not accidents. They're signals. Markers. Confirmations. And now, I'd love for you to take part in this moment consciously with intention. In the comments below, write this phrase to affirm your place in this energetic movement: I'm ready. I received the double miracle of 12 a.m. You can also include the spiritual number you've been seeing lately, maybe it's 7, 11, or 222. Whatever number keeps showing up for you. This isn't just symbolic. It's energetic participation. A way of saying to the universe, I'm not just hoping for alignment, I'm walking in it. And if I may, let me take a moment to sincerely thank you. Your presence here matters. Every like, every comment, every time you hit subscribe brings you deeper into the heart of this sacred space we're building at Zodiac Whisper Tarot. Your support doesn't just keep this message going. It becomes part of the message itself. A ripple in the collective. A blessing multiplied. So don't click away too soon, my beloved Libra. Because what the universe is revealing in the rest of this video is nothing short of spectacular. This is not about waiting. This is about witnessing. And by the end, you'll see exactly why November 19th at 12 a.m. is yours. Are you ready to claim what's returning to you? Let's begin. There's something quietly potent about the way the world holds its breath at midnight. For Libra, This moment 12:00 a.m. on November 19 ISNT, just a change on the clock. It's an energetic threshold. A passage. A divine hush where the old meets the new, and something long promised begins to stir. Astrologically, it's no accident this happens now. With Mercury forming a gentle, harmonious aspect to Venus in your sign, messages you've waited for answers, money, clarity can finally move toward you without resistance. Mercury is the voice, Venus is value. Together, they unlock what's been delayed, especially in your relationships and financial world. Meanwhile, Jupiter, the planet of expansion and divine timing, is activating your second house. That's the area of personal finances, stability, and self-worth. When Jupiter touches this part of your chart, it rarely whispers. It announces that you are ready to grow, and it begins returning what was withheld not as a repayment, but as an elevation. And perhaps most significantly, Saturn, the great teacher, has just finished a long retrograde in a sensitive corner of your chart. This means the lessons are complete, and where there was restriction, a return is now possible. Think of it as the closing of a long spiritual audit. The books are balanced, and the cosmic check is clearing. But let's pull back and look at this more symbolically. Midnight is a sacred paradox. It is both an ending and a beginning. The very moment the clock resets, so too does your energetic field. It's like standing in a garden just before dawn, the ground's still dark, but something underneath is already reaching upward. And this is why we speak of a double miracle, or double luck, during this gateway, because it's not just about what you receive externally. It's also about the internal shift. One blessing comes as provision, but the second arrives as revelation. In the language of healing and self-alignment, this moment invites you to soften. To slow your breath, rest your hands on your heart, and notice what's trying to come through. Even just 2 minutes of silence, of sitting with yourself at this threshold, can change how you relate to everything. This isn't about performance, it's about presence. You don't need to do more. You simply need to be more honest, more receptive, more grounded in the knowing that you are not behind. You're right on time. You may recall a moment in your life, perhaps recent, perhaps long ago, when you felt something shift but couldn't explain it. A certain stillness, like the world paused just for you. That was not your imagination. It was a spiritual alignment, and for some, it's what we recognize as the presence of God. Not loud. Not dramatic. But steady. Subtle. Loving. In modern times, we don't often pause long enough to notice divine intervention, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Sometimes God moves in silence. Sometimes the answer isn't in the thunder, but in the whisper. So when I ask you now, have you felt something approaching, something you can't quite name? It's not rhetorical. It's the doorway. And your answer is a form of participation. That feeling? That tug in your spirit? It's your future making its way toward you. Libra, this isn't just a reading. It's a recognition of how far you've come and a reminder that you're not doing this alone. Whether you identify as spiritual, religious, or simply open, the truth remains, you're being called deeper. To trust the timing. To receive what's returning. To rest in the knowing that when you show up in stillness, everything you've prayed for can finally find its way home. It's often easy to associate abundance with sudden windfalls or strokes of luck, But what's returning to you now isn't random at all, it's the result of energetic integrity. You see, Libra, energy that was once invested with clarity and intention doesn't vanish, even if the outcome felt delayed or lost. Sometimes, when life feels like it's holding back what we need most, it's simply rerouting it to arrive at the right time, in the right way. And right now, that time is here. When we pull the Six of Pentacles in Tarot, we're invited to remember that balance is a law of the universe, not just spiritually, but practically. The energy you've put out, especially in situations where you acted fairly, generously, or without recognition, begins to return not as charity, but as recalibration. It shows up as a refund, a long overdue payment, a grant, a quiet gesture of repayment, or even an offer you once gave up on that now circles back. The universe keeps perfect records even when we forget. And the presence of the Star card reminds us, hope is never foolish when your faith is planted in the soil of consistency. You may not have seen the growth yet, but the roots were never still. This type of financial return, what we're calling a great refund, isn't necessarily dramatic. It might arrive as a deposit you didn't expect. A policy that shifts in your favor. A client who suddenly remembers your worth. A person who finally decides to honor their word. What matters most isn't the amount. It's the energetic message it carries, that what you gave is not lost, and that reciprocity is still in motion. If you've ever thought to yourself, if that money is truly mine, it will come back, you were already working with the law of attraction. That quiet trust becomes a powerful invitation. You weren't demanding, just staying open. And now, energy is flowing again, clearing the congestion around your financial vibration. That's why it's so important right now to be mindful of how you treat what you already have. Organizing your finances into 3 simple channels: one for saving, one for growing, and one for caring for yourself isn't just practical. It's spiritual. It tells the universe, I'm ready to steward more. Not with fear, but with clarity. And let's not forget, financial energy is directly tied to emotional flow. If you've been feeling stress in your body, tight shoulders, irregular breathing, racing thoughts, it may be blocking the very channels that want to open. Try this simple reset: pause, place your hands over your heart, and ask yourself gently, what would I do if the pressure lifted? Then listen, without judgment. That's where you begin. We often overlook the quiet miracles that come through money. But I've seen firsthand, both in my own life and in the lives of those I guide, how a timely refund can be the catalyst for restored hope. I once walked with someone who, after months of being ignored by a former employer, suddenly received a payout that was more than just compensation, it was affirmation. Not because the amount changed her life, but because it reminded her that her integrity had been seen. That she had not been forgotten. So Libra, as you stand in this moment, I invite you to reflect. If a financial blessing found you today, what would you do with it? How would it shift your spirit, your sense of security, your outlook on the path ahead? This isn't just a hypothetical. It's a preparation. The energetic current is moving and your response becomes part of the receiving. You are not asking for something that's not yours. You are allowing something that has been circling its way back to you. Quietly. Gently. Right on time. Sometimes healing doesn't arrive through words, but through a shift you feel in your chest, a sigh you didn't expect, or tears that rise out of nowhere when you hear a certain name or remember a moment you thought you had already buried. And Libra, If that's been happening to you lately, if someone from your past keeps showing up in your dreams, or if your heart has felt heavier than usual without a clear reason, know that it's not regression. It's release. What you're sensing now is the soft unraveling of something old, something sacred, and something finally ready to be closed with grace. This is what I mean when I say, double luck. Yes, this phase brings financial return, but the second, quieter form of abundance is emotional, it's healing. And not the kind that comes in a rush or a dramatic breakthrough, but the kind that shows up like rain falling on dry ground. The kind that washes you clean from the inside out. The kind that whispers, it's safe to let go now. In tarot, the Ace of Cups is often seen as the beginning of emotional renewal, a cup overflowing with unconditional love, clarity, and peace. But what's overlooked is how often this card shows up not when something starts, but when something ends. When a long-held ache is finally acknowledged. When forgiveness, real, honest forgiveness, takes the place of resentment. And that's where you are now. Whether it's a parent, a partner, a friend, or even a version of yourself that you've judged too harshly, this portal is inviting you to let your heart soften. Water, as an element, governs emotions. And it tends to appear symbolically around us when our inner world is processing something big. If you've noticed more rain lately, dreams of the ocean, or an unexpected pull toward lakes, rivers, or even just baths, it's your body and your spirit calling for cleansing. It's the sacred language of energy reminding you that you are made not just of earth, but of flow. And that flow needs room again. I want to gently encourage you, Libra, to give space to what your heart still carries. Not through confrontation, not through pressure, but through gentle acknowledgement. Try this tonight. Sit quietly and write the name of someone who has occupied your emotional space longer than you wanted them to. And instead of reliving what happened, write one sentence of release. Not for them but for yourself. And if that feels like too much, then simply write, I forgive myself for carrying this so long. You'd be amazed how many things begin to move once you free up that internal space. I've seen it happen countless times. In one story that stays with me, a woman who had been struggling with debt for years finally took the step of forgiving her father, someone who had hurt her deeply and left behind not just emotional scars but financial burdens too. She didn't speak to him. She didn't even need to send a letter. She just forgave quietly, alone, in her bedroom. And 3 days later, she received an unexpected payment from an old client she had forgotten about. That wasn't coincidence. That was energy responding to alignment. When your heart is blocked, abundance struggles to find its way in. But when your energy opens, truly opens, everything else follows. And the truth is, Libra, you don't need to fix the past. You just need to stop holding it like it still defines you. That's the miracle. So let me ask you now, with love and honesty, who or what are you ready to set down so you can walk lighter into what's next? You don't have to say it perfectly. You don't have to be ready for a grand goodbye. But even a whisper of release is enough. Let your comment be that whisper if you feel called. Let it be the start of your heart's return to peace. There are moments in life when you don't necessarily feel broken, but something quietly begins to feel out of place, like a favorite chair no longer sits right in the room, or the sunlight through your window hits differently than it used to. For many Libras right now, that sensation is more than aesthetic, it's energetic. The desire to rearrange your space, to take a short trip, or to finally move forward on that long-held dream to live near water or silence or light. These are not whims. They are subtle signals from your inner compass that your energy is ready to shift into new alignment. Astrologically, this timing is deeply rooted in the movement through your fourth house, the part of your chart that governs home, roots, safety, and emotional grounding. When this area is activated, it's like a soft internal earthquake that stirs things up, not to destroy, but to reveal what's become too small to hold who you are becoming. And because you're a Libra, a sign of balance and harmony, your soul always seeks symmetry, not just in relationships, but in your space, your schedule, and your sensory experience. When these no longer reflect the internal balance you crave, your outer world begins to speak up. But this is not about running. It's about rerouting. In the energetic language of water, movement doesn't have to be grand to be powerful. Sometimes it's as simple as changing the direction your desk faces, swapping out your bed sheets, or decluttering one small corner that's held too much of the past for too long. You might be surprised how quickly your nervous system responds when the energy around you is refreshed. A 15-minute room reset can feel like a full-body exhale. And when you choose to surround yourself with colors that hold calming, expansive frequencies like soft ocean blue, shimmering silver, or clean white, you're sending subtle yet profound signals to your energetic field. It's safe to soften, to start again, to breathe. In numerology, the recurring presence of the numbers 2 and 11 right now only reinforces this message. 2 speaks to partnership, peace, and decisions made with emotional intelligence. 11 is a master number, one that opens portals, awakens intuition, and anchors new beginnings. If these numbers have been showing up for you on receipts, clocks, addresses, it may not be random at all. It may be your inner knowing, gently mirrored back to you through the physical world, encouraging you to step into something new without needing all the answers first. I've seen it in real life more times than I can count. A person makes one small change, rearranges a bookshelf, throws out a box from a past relationship, moves their workspace toward natural light, and within days, clarity arrives. An email they've been waiting for lands. A conversation that never seemed possible suddenly unfolds. A new opportunity walks in unannounced. And no, this isn't magic. It's alignment. Because when you shift your environment, you shift your vibration. And when your vibration changes, so does the way the universe meets you. So, if you've been feeling restless without reason, or longing for space even in familiar surroundings, I gently ask, what is your energy asking you to rearrange, not just in your home, but in your habits, your rhythm, your inner dialogue? You don't need to renovate your life overnight. But you do need to listen. And maybe the first step is as simple as standing in the center of your room and asking aloud, what no longer reflects the version of me I'm stepping into? Change doesn't always announce itself with thunder. Sometimes it begins with the quiet urge to open a window, to pack a symbolic bag, or to pause in a room and say, I'm ready for something to move. And in that pause, the shift begins. Libra, is something inside you asking to be moved? Some moments don't require a leap, they simply ask for your presence. In fact, one of the greatest misunderstandings about change is that it always needs to be dramatic. But in truth, the most miraculous shifts often begin in the stillest parts of your life. Libra, what's unfolding for you now doesn't demand urgency. It asks for honesty, softness, and quiet participation. This is not the season for striving, it's a season for aligning. There is a certain spiritual intelligence behind simplicity. Writing down what you want, saying, "I'm ready," out loud, or placing your hand gently over your chest in the silence of the morning. These may seem small. But in the realm of energy, intention is everything. You don't need to manifest your next chapter through force. You activate it by choosing to be emotionally present for what's already arriving. By doing so, you send out a frequency. And frequencies, like radio signals, don't just float in space. They return, matched, multiplied. The law of attraction teaches us that energy responds to clarity. It doesn't respond to chaos, or to fear, or to scattered thoughts. It aligns with the energy that is rooted, calm, and self-assured, even in uncertainty. So when you sit down, take a breath, and write the sentence, "I open the door to what I deserve," you're not just playing with words. You're setting a vibrational tone. And when that tone is steady, the universe listens more easily. It's like removing static from a signal. Suddenly, your life becomes receptive again. Think of it like dominoes. Each small act of alignment: drinking water intentionally, stretching your body for 3 minutes before bed, forgiving yourself for what you couldn't carry any longer, knocks over the next piece. And then the next. And without you even realizing it, momentum builds. What once felt stuck begins to shift, not because you forced it, but because you flowed with it. In my work, I've often seen how one gentle change opens the floodgates. A woman once told me she started blessing her morning glass of water, not asking for anything, just saying thank you to the water before drinking. Within a week, she said, her body felt more grounded, her mind calmer. A week after that, a job offer arrived after months of silence. It wasn't the blessing itself, it was the energy behind it. She had stopped bracing. She had begun receiving. This is how miracles work, Libra. Not through grandeur, but through presence. And it's why I invite you now to not just watch this video, but to engage with it. In the comments below, write what you feel called to affirm. Maybe it's, "I am ready. The double miracle is mine." Maybe it's, "I welcome the refund and healing of 12 a.m. Whatever speaks to you, speak it back. Let it echo from you, because your words carry weight. And when written or spoken with truth, they become part of the unfolding. More importantly, understand this: you are not a bystander in your own life. You are not waiting to be chosen, saved, or fixed. You are a co-creator of this next chapter. You have always been. Every moment of presence you offer now is a sacred collaboration. And miracles are never about being worthy, they are about being available. So, Libra, are you open to receiving what is already making its way to you? Not someday. Not when you're perfect. But now, exactly as you are. Because your next miracle isn't chasing you, it's waiting for your door to unlock. All it takes is one quiet moment to say, "I'm here. I'm ready." And then, let the dominoes begin. Sometimes, the most powerful moments happen not in noise, but in gentle silence. Libra, you've just walked through an extraordinary energetic gateway. 12:00 a.m. on November 19, a moment that doesn't just mark time, but shifts it. This wasn't just a midnight on the calendar. It was a cosmic hand reaching toward you, holding the key to what you've been praying for in stillness, a financial return long overdue, emotional clarity you forgot you needed, and a quiet nudge to step into your next season, fully present. This entire journey has not been about waiting for someone to save you. It's been about remembering, you were never locked out. You were the one holding the key all along. That's the truth of your energy right now. The refund, the healing, the movement, they are not things you earn. They are things you allow. Because energy doesn't respond to force, it responds to frequency. And the frequency you've been cultivating through patience, through resilience, through showing up even when no one else was watching's now resonating loud enough for the universe to echo back. You've endured quietly, beautifully. You've been generous when others were silent, compassionate even when your heart was tired, and honest in moments where truth was the harder path. And now, the dominoes begin to fall not as chaos, but as divine choreography. Every part of your story led you here. Not to break you, but to break you open. You didn't just survive. You softened. You expanded. You became. So as we close this message, I want to leave you with a few sacred questions. Not to answer quickly, but to sit with. If you truly believed your miracle was already in motion, how would you begin to act today? What would you change in your language, your habits, your boundaries? Who would you forgive? What would you say yes to, and what would you finally say no to? And most importantly, what part of you are you willing to reclaim now that your waiting season is coming to an end? Libra, this is not just a moment of insight. It's a moment of invitation. To stop dimming your readiness. To start participating in the version of your life that already exists on a higher frequency. And you do that not by force, but by gentle decisions. By honoring your body. By speaking your truth. By choosing one action each day that reminds your soul, I'm not stuck. I'm moving. So now, breathe with me. Let's anchor this moment together. In the comments, I invite you to write one of these affirmations or your own version of it as a signal to your spirit and the universe. I am ready. The double miracle is mine. I open the door to what I deserve. I welcome the refund and healing of 12 a.m. And if this message touched something in you, please consider liking this video, subscribing, and sharing it with someone you love. Every gesture, every click, every comment is not just support. It's activation. It brings this message deeper into the energetic field we're building here, together, as a community. Because here at Zodiac Whisper Tarot, you're not just a viewer. You are part of something larger. You are a mirror of what's possible when alignment meets grace. And no matter what happens next, know this: you are not alone. You never were. And from this moment forward, you walk not in hope, but in embodiment. You are already inside your miracle. One breath at a time.